My name's Zoe and I've now been living in Chalten for 18 years. That's 18 years of living in Chalten and breathing the trails and exploring the mountains, and all of my spare time trying to enjoy the area as much as possible. Chalten is a great destination for people who want to do day treks. There are lots of day treks that you can do right from the door of your hotel. So you can get up in the morning and after breakfast you can pick up your day pack with your packed lunch and hit the trails. The main 3 day treks that we talk about are Laguna de los Tres, Torre and Pliegue Tumbado. They're all of 6 hours and above. We're looking at day treks of between 6 and 9 hours. Some of them have got more climbing than others, so you do need to be fit to be able to do the trek and enjoy it and get back to the hotel at the end of the day. The mountain that everyone has heard about in Chalten is Cerro Fitzroy, the Fitzroy Mountain, of over 3,400 meters. That is the most amazing granite peak in our area, and you can get to the base of that where there is an amazing lagoon that if you arrive at the beginning of the season it's still frozen, covered in snow. If you arrive later on in the year it will be water. This is one of the hardest treks in our area. We are looking at days of 8-9 hours, gentle uphill, flat bits in the middle, and the last section is an hour of going uphill on a moraine. The views at the top are awe-inspiring and it makes all of the effort to get up there all the worthwhile. Another of the treks that we enjoy in Chalten is walking towards Laguna Torre. The trek to Laguna Torre is one of the easier ones, although it's still a 20-kilometer day. Luckily it is a little bit flatter. So after climbing the first hour and a half to the first viewpoint, you then drop into the valley basin and it is a generally flat walk all the way to the lagoon. When you get to the lagoon, if you're lucky, there might be some icebergs that have just carved off the glacier a few days ago. And in the distance, you'll be able to see Cerro Torre, one of the most difficult mountains to climb in the world. People got to the moon before they got to the top of Cerro Torre. The final trek in the area that sometimes is forgotten, but it is actually just as beautiful and maybe one of my favourites. This is called Pliegue Tumbado. Pliegue Tumbado is also a 4-hour gentle uphill walk. When you get up there, you have 360-degree views of the whole national park, from one way looking out towards Viedma Lake on the steppe, looking over to Torre, to Fitzroy, and then all of the other lakes of Capri, of Madre Hija, the other lagoons that you will have been walking past while you were doing the other treks. Luckily in Chalten, if you don't fancy an 8-9 hour day, there are other options available. You could think about doing the first section of some of these long day treks to get to the first viewpoint of Torre, or getting to Capri Lagoon on part of the Laguna de los Tres trail. So don't feel there's nothing there for you. There is just a way of understanding. You just do the first section of the trail. Another area, if you've got more time in Chalten, is to maybe visit the Huemules Reserve, where there is also a whole network of trails that you can explore. And they are slightly shorter trails than the ones located nearer to Chalten. They're less busy because they're a little bit more difficult to get to. So if you're a person that likes walking where there's less people, I highly recommend getting there for a day of walking. And if you are willing to travel a little bit further, you could get all the way to the end of the valley where Chalten's located, to Lago del Desierto, the deserted lake. And from there you can do another short walk up to the Huemul Glacier, which is a hanging glacier that's also fantastic to visit. Whilst all of the trails are clearly marked, we do find that going with a guide adds a lot of benefits. The guides know where the best stops are, where to take the best photographs, where you can actually have a break, have a coffee and be protected from the wind. If there's a lot of people on the trail, they'll know whether it's worth walking a little bit faster for another 5 minutes and getting to another viewpoint that you can enjoy on your own. And then also to just learn about the first climbers that arrived 70, 80 years ago that scaled the face of Fitzroy, to learn a little bit about that bird that you can hear pecking away at a tree, to give you an idea whether the fungi growing on the ground is actually edible or not, to try the local berries, to really just bring alive this whole amazing national park. What would be my tip for anyone coming or planning a holiday to Chalten is stay as long as you can. You need to have a contingency day in case the weather doesn't do what you want it to do. We all want to come to Patagonia because of its amazing landscape, but we all forget that what has created this amazing landscape is the weather. And therefore we do have cloudy days, rainy days, windy days. So if you really want to make sure you get to the top to Laguna de los Tres and you want to do all of these trails, make sure you've got days to be able to fulfill all of your dreams. If you come with 2 days and then you have bad weather, then you may not see all of the mountains that you were hoping to see.